Alright, so the first thing that you need to learn how to do when you are trying to play Slap Royale is flicking. Flicking is a pretty simple skill that you can learn. It seems complicated at first, but it's actually really easy. Flicking is basically doing this motion here where you go back and forth like this and slapping someone. It will slap them in a different direction than normal, like this. So for example, normally if I was going to slap him, he would go that way. But if I do a flick, he will actually end up going this way where I'm facing. This can be used in a lot of situations, especially in Slap Royale, to help get like a more advantageous position while fighting other people. And flicking can work in normal slap battles, but it's less prominent since you just spam abilities in here. But anyways, just get a friend or your alt account in a private server and practice flicking with them. I suggest to friends that you can actually use it in fights instead of just mindlessly doing this motion. Now, I'm doing this on PC, but, well, mobile players, you aren't exactly out of the question either. You guys can do this flicking motion too, like this. And you can, if I did this right, you slap first, and then do that flicking motion, and you can actually do it on mobile. I'm doing this on my phone right now. I'm using my alt account named Gooby Snewbert. So you slap first, sort of like this. You could just go like that, and it will work. Now, when I'm on PC, I do it more quickly because it's more efficient and has less risk. But you can do it like that. So let's move on to the next part. Welcome to section 2. This is probably the hardest part of your detonator run by far, and this is the one where you're going to end up dying a lot. So, here you can see, I'm going to jump out of the bus immediately. You can spam the spacebar, there's nothing that's going to happen if you don't. And I'm going to get this item here before immediately going left. The left is where you want to be. It's the place where you get the most amount of kills with the least amount of risk. You can see that everyone on the other side is just getting obliterated. Now, I used my bomb there because I thought I could get a double kill. I didn't. But you can see a couple of these strategies being employed, like just flicking in general. I missed that flick, but flicking in general, as well as staying on that left side. There's a good flick. You want to stay on the left side of people because that's just the easier way to do flicks. Staying on the left side of people will always work no matter what, unless you're going against like a hyper skilled player or something, which you won't always be doing. See how easy and effortless that slap was? I mean, I barely flicked, to be honest with you. Yeah, the place where you want to land is specifically where I landed, if there is an item. If there's not an item, you're gonna go towards the left of that. In this embarrassing moment, I miss a few flicks, but it's fine, because I'm farther away from acid. I'm not gonna die from one hit, and there's a good flick. Because as you gain more and more kills, you're gonna want to get more farther away. Ugh! You're gonna get farther away from the acid area, so that well, you don't die to some pack-a-punch kid like this. Of course, I didn't die because I'm literally crazy at this game. But if I wasn't careful, I could easily have ended this run. Now, this purple dude is actually a tab glitcher, as you'll see in the next couple minutes. But for now, I'm just gonna fast forward through this because there's nothing extremely important happening. Hello, quick note here. While you watch this time lapse, the glove you want to be using, which I'm using in this clip, is Faculty. And if you did bring a friend, tell them to bring either Witch, Thundercaller, or Glacier because those are the best gloves to team with. Anyways, let's continue. So while you watch this time lapse, I'm gonna ask you to consider subscribing, please. My ratio is like 20% of you guys watching that are actually subscribed. But anyways, you'll see me get beat up by a bunch of witch users with cubes of ice, sphere of fury, true power, all of the above really. There's nothing really I can do about it, but I'll go over how to deal with it in my next section. Had I used a friend in this game, I probably would have been fine and gotten Detonator. But anyways, time to get into the next part, which is the late game. So there are three things I want to talk about in this third section, the late game section. I'm just going to be using a 23 kill game in the background because I've got nothing else. I tried to get a good game and I was on 24 kill pace, but something unfortunate happened, and I'm not going to talk about it. Actually, yes, I am, and it's a false kick. False vote kicking is a huge issue, and you have to know and take a couple steps to avoid getting false kicked. The first one is just having a friend. Having a friend is one more vote on your side that'll help you if someone tries to false kick you. Next is that you should, as soon as you see someone trying to false kick you, immediately go try and kill them as soon as possible. Because, if I recall correctly, they can't kick you if they're dead. So yeah. And then thirdly, save the teamers for last. Because when you're fighting and trying to get Detonator, there will be teamers. There's no doubt about it. There's like a 10% chance you don't get one. And so, save them for last. Typically, they will only spawn in groups of like 2 or 3. And so they can't vote kick you by the end. So you have to go for those stray dudes, the random kids that don't really know what they're doing. Bully them first, and then you can take on the teamers. Now, when you're actually fighting the teamers, there's also a couple tips I have. The first one is just isolation. When you go up to a team or group to start fighting them, try and slap one of them out of the way and start chasing after them. Because you're not going to get all 2 of them or all 3 of them a lot of the time in a fight. They're going to just, like, push you around. So go for one, start chasing them. A lot of the time they might try and false kick you out of being scared. But if you have a friend, you should be fine. Then I have one more tip, I think. And that is, if someone's really, really far in the storm, and they're probably not going to make it back, go chase after them. Sometimes you might not get their kill, and kills are pretty important in a lot of Detonator runs, where you barely could get 15. Anyways, that's all I've got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did watch the whole thing, please tell me you did. Again, please subscribe because I'm doing an event at 500, and I'm gonna need a ton of you guys. Join my Discord, link in description. Blah blah blah. Yeah, hopefully I don't have to make another tutorial for Detonator, like if they add some stupid glove or anything. Good luck on your future detonating.